Long ago, amidst the majestic Jayawijaya mountain range, there lay a vast but barren valley. This valley would later be known as Baliem Valley, but at that time, it offered no life to anyone living there. The land was dry, without water, without trees, and without yield. The Dani tribe, who inhabited the valley, struggled fiercely to survive. They farmed, but the barren land yielded little. Their lives were filled with scarcity and hardship. In the midst of this despair, a brave young man named Wosil decided that he could not remain idle. Seeing his people sink deeper into hardship, Wosil felt called to do something. One day, with unwavering determination, he left his village and ventured into the deep forest, determined to find answers to save his people. Wosil traveled far, through dense and dark forests. He had no idea where to go, but his heart kept pushing him to move further. During his journey, in a very quiet place, he encountered a mountain spirit. This spirit was a large and tall supernatural being, with light surrounding its body. Its voice echoed with great power, as if it came from the mountains around them. "This land is cursed because of a great betrayal in the past," said the mountain spirit. "That is why this valley cannot give life. But you can change the fate of your people, Wosil." Wosil was silent, but his eyes reflected strong resolve. "What must I do?" he asked, his voice full of hope. The mountain spirit then gave Wosil a difficult task. To lift the curse on the valley, Wosil had to perform a dangerous ritual of sacrifice. The ritual had to be conducted at the center of the valley, where the curse was strongest. If successful, the land would come to life again, and the valley would become fertile. However, if he failed, Wosil might lose his life. Without hesitation, Wosil accepted the task. He knew that his sacrifice might be the only hope for his people. With firm determination, Wosil returned to his village and prepared for the ritual with his people. They built an altar in the center of the barren valley, where Wosil would perform the sacred ritual. Night fell. The valley was eerily silent, with only the soft sound of the wind blowing. In front of the altar, Wosil stood tall, surrounded by bright campfires. With unwavering confidence, he began chanting the ancient mantras taught to him by the mountain spirit. His voice echoed throughout the valley, as if the land itself was listening to every word he spoke. Slowly, the ground beneath their feet began to tremble. A rumbling sound was heard from afar, and soon after, from deep within the earth, a great river emerged. The water flowed swiftly, cutting through the dry valley, soaking the barren land. That river was the Baliem River, a gift of nature that brought life back to the once dead valley. As the river flowed, the land around the valley began to change. Plants started to grow abundantly, trees turned green again, and the valley slowly became a place full of life. The Dani people cheered joyfully, unable to believe that the land, which had once yielded nothing, had now turned into a green paradise. Wosil had succeeded. His sacrifice was honored by the mountain spirit, and from that moment on, Wosil became a hero remembered by his people. The Baliem Valley, once barren, now stood as a symbol of life and hope for the Dani tribe. Every year, they held a ceremony to honor Wosil's sacrifice, reminding generation after generation of his courage and determination that saved the valley and the entire tribe. The Baliem Valley is now not only a home for the Dani tribe, but also a witness to a legend that teaches about sacrifice, courage, and the miracles of nature intertwined with human life.